welcome everyone to the online course on Essential of Database Management System. In previous video lecture, we discussed trigger concept. In this presentation, we are going to discuss cursor. What is meant by cursor? Cursor is the database object used to retrieve, manipulate, and navigate through result set by row. It is mainly used in the procedural language, for example, Oracle and SQL Server. The cursor is a pointer to the context area. The PLSQL control the context area through the cursor. The cursor holds the row written by the SQL statement. Why we are using cursor? SQL works with the set of data. However, sometimes you need to process each row individually, such as performing complex row-by-row calculation, updating or modifying data based on the conditions, fetching large data set for processing the application logic. And next one is type of cursor. There are two types of cursor, implicit cursor and explicit cursor. We'll discuss with an example. Implicit cursor. The implicit cursor are automatically created by Oracle whenever the SQL statement is executed. So here the programmer cannot control the implicit cursor. In PLSQL, the most recent implicit cursor is PLSQL cursor, which has the following attribute: found, not found, row count is open. Found, it returned true if the last SQL statement affected at least one row, otherwise return false. Not found, return true if the last SQL statement did not affect any row, otherwise return false. Row count, return number of row affected by last SQL statement. And next one is open, always return false for implicit cursor because they are automatically closed after execution. Next one is implicit cursor with insert. First declare the variable and assign values if you want. For example, declare variable and data type and assigning value. Next, insert statement. Insert into department and mention the column name and followed by values. Now the value is inserted in the departments. And write the condition. SQL found. Then corresponding statement it will be executed. It means record inserted successfully. Otherwise, no record inserted. At last, it will count the row on the display. Next one is implicit cursor with update. So how to write the query here? Update employee set salary equal salary into 1.1 something, whatever it is, where the department ID equal 10. Then condition will execute. If SQL found, the first statement it will execute. That is salary updated successfully. Else, the next statement it will execute. No employee found for the update. Then it will show the updated row. Next, implicit cursor with delete. And write the statement. Delete from employee where the department ID equal 20. And next, condition verify. If SQL not found, the first statement it will execute. No employee found to delete. Or the alter statement it will execute. Employee deleted and row count is updated. Explicit cursor. Explicit cursor or programmer define the cursor for gaining more control over the context area. An explicit cursor should be defined in the declaration section of PLSQL block. It is created on select statement which return more than one row. The syntax is cursor, cursor name is select statement. Working with explicit cursor into the following state. Declare the cursor for initializing the memory, opening the cursor for allocating the memory, fetching the cursor for retrieving the data, closing the cursor to release the allocated memory. First, declaring the cursor. It means define the cursor with the name. Cursor name is select, mention the column's name. For example, ID, name, address from table name. And next one is opening the cursor. Allocate the memory for the cursor. For example, open and mention the cursor name. And next one is fetching the cursor. It means accessing one row at a time. Fetch cursor name into and mention the column name. That is CID, CNAME and address. And closing the cursor. It means releasing the allocated memory. So how to write close and mention the cursor. For example, first create one table, customer table. For example, with field, for example, ID, name and address. And next declare the cursor. That is the declaration section, declare the variable. For example, cursor ID, that is the CID and the cursor name and the cursor address. Then cursor name is select ID, name, address from the customer table. So now the cursor it will hold the row. Next one is open the customer. That is cursor. And next the loop will be executed till condition false. So fetch the customer detail. For example, fetch the cursors into the CID and the CNAME and address. It means fetch the content from the cursor and move to CID, CNAME and address. And next statement, when the data is not found, it will be exit or it will print customer ID, customer name and customer address. Then finally, we are going to close the cursor. That is the release the memory. Thank you.